welcome. My name is Margaret. I am a historical costumer and textile conservator in training. And today I'm just going to bring you another chill video while we look at this advanced fashion news for spring of 1910 by the Passaic Prints Company. This is just going to be a walkthrough of this beautiful pamphlet and talking about fabric in the Edwardian era. While you're watching this, I will actually be on a vacation, so I hope that you enjoy this chill video for this week, and next week we will get back to the making of the 1860s changeable gown. Now, as you can see, this little pamphlet, this is a sales catalog for different patterns and printed fabrics that you could buy in 1810 for the spring. Passaic is the company. I think it's pronounced Passaic, that's what I've been told, as it was potentially named after a town in New Jersey, although it could be pronounced a different way because this is a defunct fabric company that no longer exists, and who knows. So on the cover here, you can see she's attached. This has had a rough life. You know, she's been through some stuff. She's been through a water event. She had a little bit of mold growth, but we stopped that in its tracks, don't worry. I know how to take care of that, so that's all gone. And yeah, she needs a little bit of work, but still very beautiful. On the cover, we of course have this gorgeous Edwardian lady, you know, general mid-Edwardian look. We've got sort of the pigeon breast front there, a little bit of a lower waistline, and the kind of tubular columnar shape is coming into fashion versus that S bend. So this is sort of a transitional era for fashion as we know the 19-teens to be. So we open this up. It says, this book contains but a few of the many beautiful costumes which may be made up from the coming spring and summer designs of the Passaic print fabrics. These and the full Passaic line are now awaiting your inspection at your dealers. So this is just a sales catalog, some of their offerings. So we just have this page talking about the print company and you know, how you can use your Passaic prints. And it is from New Jersey, so it's probably, you know, named after that town. So let's get into the meat here. So the first page we start off, these are the Lotus Lawns. For 25 years, the leading low-priced lawns printed in endless varieties of patterns and colorings. And as you can see, these are 25 inches wide, so that's pretty narrow by today's standards. Today, you're normally seeing fabric that's probably about 45 inches wide, and sometimes 60 inches wide, and sometimes even more than that. But yeah, 25 inches wide, that's extremely narrow by today's standards. As you can see on the left here, we have these lovely illustrations. These look very similar to other illustrations that could be found in fashion magazines of this period. I have quite a few videos about fashion magazines of this period, and I will link them down below and in the cards as well. But yeah, these are very, very similar. The difference with this particular object and why I wanted to show it is these fabric swatches, but we will be talking about the illustrations as well. We have, again, sort of your just standard, you know, lawn, sort of lingerie-esque dress of the period, and then a young lady's dress as well. And then these give you descriptions of the garments, as well as the patterns, the pattern number to buy the patterns, how much the patterns would cost, and then your, you know, estimated yardage for those patterns. You can see this one for the gimp, which would have been this little section up here, her little filler. I call it a filler. It can also be a gimp. There are many different words for it. Chemisette, which is an older term. You could probably also call it that. You know, this was a 15-cent pattern and required 3 yards of 24-inch material, which seems like a lot. So as we move on to the fabric section, these beautiful patterns. And the thing about this particular catalog is, unfortunately, these were glued down or pasted down to these little boxes, which means that you kind of lose some of how the fabric would have actually folded. You lose that. You lose the hand of the fabric essentially because it was, stiffened with that adhesive. The adhesive is not very strong and they'll probably need to be repasted at some point, but you can see these just absolutely gorgeous cotton lawns here. Again, there's some staining on them because of the water event that this little pamphlet went through, but let's turn the page. Okay, so on this page, as you can see, we have these selection of challies. And we have these beautiful a dressing sack, sort of a bed gown, and then this beautiful empire robe. I actually had a robe very similar to this in my collection for a while. I ended up selling it on just because she wasn't in the finest of shape, but it was made out of a fabric very similar to this. So now I'm like kicking myself. I'm like, you should have kept that. But you know what? You live and you learn. I live in a one-bedroom apartment. I can't keep everything. So, a very gorgeous robe. Maybe I should make myself one just for lounging around the house in. But yes, these challies are very beautiful. This is a little bit heavier weight than the lawns. You can sort of feel that, but again, still a lightweight cotton, pretty open weave in these beautiful sort of floral paisley-esque patterns. Let's flip over the page. So here are the Batistes. A medium-priced article suitable for all the uses of more expensive lines. 27 inches wide, so that's just an odd width, to be honest with you. Like 25, 27 inches, like what's the difference? What is the difference in the loom technology? Let's see, Batiste is actually one of my favorite cottons to work with, to be honest with you. I love how it's a little bit more structured than a voile, but still has that really light and airy feel, and it's a little bit heavier than a lawn. Batistes are great. So again, sort of that very, very stereotypical 1910s shape, and then also a waist as well, shirt waist. I really love this pink and white striped one. Isn't that so cute? Yeah, this would definitely be what I would be buying. I'd be buying the Batistes. And then we've got Chalet Vendôme, that's how I'm going to pronounce Chalet Vendôme. So, reproducing in cotton cloth the leading patterns and colorings of imported wool goods. So this must be, printed cottons. And these do look like imported wool goods. These do look like, your paisley shawls from Scotland or... Yeah, they look like paisley shawls from Scotland. I'm coming up blank on anything else. But it got a different sort of illustration here. This more... Is that a lithograph? I'm not... Yeah, probably. Yeah, sort of different type of illustration here. Again, bathrobes and wrappers, just absolutely gorgeous. I love how, you're in your bathrobe, but you're also still definitely wearing a corset, or at least these ladies are in the illustration. And these are 29 inches wide. So we're creeping up there. We are creeping up there. All right, here we have more Batistes. These are Valmont Batistes, printed in an endless variety of neat and attractive patterns suitable for children's dresses. I mean, I would also say that any age could wear these. 28 inches wide. Again, not entirely certain what the difference in loom technology is, that we are just going up and down inches. If someone has the answer to that, please tell me. So we have, again, very stereotypical 1910 style and another shirtwaist. We've got this beautiful check pattern. We've got sort of this whimsical dot pattern, and then what looks to be some sort of ghost floral. Oh, and this did have metal staples in it at one point. I'm not entirely certain. Does this still have its metal staples? No. No longer has its metal staples in it, which is probably a good thing because, as we know, ferrous materials don't play nice over long periods of time. They like to rust and they like to stain, and they like to acidify paper. So probably a good thing they're not here anymore, but we can see their vestiges still here. So this is a very loosely bound pamphlet. More Batistes, Grasmere Batistes, printed in a great variety of styles and patterns, suitable for ladies' and children's dresses. And again, another beautiful dress. I love her dramatic scarf and the gloves. It's great. And that big bow is fabulous. Another little floral, and another, it's like blue on white must have been very popular. And then sort of this brown as well. All right, here we go. National Twill Drapery, printed in a wide assortment of colorings suitable for furniture coverings and window draperies. As you can see, these particular dyes have not played nice with the paper. They've sort of burned into the paper, which is very interesting to see. But we have this photograph here for sofa covers, draperies, furniture covers, cushion covers, kimonos, etc. So that's fun. You don't become dingy after a few months' wear. These are definitely more larger scale patterns. This one almost looks pixelated, which is a lot of fun. I love how they're like, you can get a kimono to match your bed covering. If that's what you want. Matching kimono and bed covering. That's the look for 1910, spring of 1910. Wide Lisbon lawn, made for manufacturing trade exclusively in styles suitable for wrappers, kimonos, house gowns, etc. I feel like they're really pushing the kimonos and the house gowns on us, which is interesting to me that these fabrics were seen as suitable for those things, especially. Obviously, we're also seeing dresses, we're also seeing shirtwaists and stuff, but you know, you're not really seeing, you know, suiting or anything in these prints. This is very much a company that's focused on these cottons only, very mostly lightweight cottons. These are substantially wider, 38 inches. What are the draperies sold at? 25 inches is not very much to make drapes out of, just saying. Yeah, beautiful shirtwaists and gathered skirts, perfect for summer. These are probably my favorite. The percales. Laurel percales. Printed on standard cloth. Used for wrappers, dressing, sacks, etc. Made especially in indigos, cadets, grays, and blacks. 36 inches wide. So we got a dress that looks a lot like a wrapper, and then a girl's dress as well. I love this. I love the color on that one. Isn't that beautiful? And the great thing about these particular swatches is the color is still really nice on these, because obviously they have not been exposed to very much light because they are in a pamphlet. So that means we're not contending with garments that have been worn, that have been, you know, stored in closets where there might be some light exposure. So it's really fun to see them all vibrant. Granted, some of them are a little bit stained from that unnamed water event earlier in the life of this pamphlet. And that is sort of the end. Obviously we have, I mean, probably a page or so missing here. Since we have the shirtwaist and the girl's dress, there probably should have been a corresponding page to that, but we just have the back page. So I hope you enjoyed that little tour of this pamphlet of fabric swatches from the mid-Edwardian era in 1910. I hope that you have a fantastic day, and if you would like to subscribe to this YouTube channel for my sewing series coming up, you can hit the subscribe button down below. You can also come over to my Instagram at costumeandconservation, where I talk about my sewing projects and sort of just what's going on. And then also on my TikTok at costumeandconservation, where I actually do have a shorter tour of this piece, but I thought we would go into it more in depth here on YouTube because you know, a minute isn't exactly the amount of time you need to spend with this object to really get to see it in its full glory. So, other than that, again, I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you next week. Bye!